Androcles and the Lion. A long time ago, there lived a man named Androcles. He was so poor, all he had to eat was one mealy piece of bread a day. But because he was kind, he always shared what little he had with his friends. Androcles worked as a slave in a big villa near the city of Rome. The villa belonged to a rich and lazy man named Brutus Flavicus. Peel me a grape, slave. Brutus worked his slaves hard. Every day Androcles had to scrub the villa steps, mop all the floors. You missed a spot, clumsy. Make all the beds. Sweat over a hot stove. I want my dinner now. Serve what felt like hundreds of meals. And spend all evening up to his elbows in dirty dishes. What a life! Androcles didn't think things could get any worse. He was wrong. Brutus began feeding him stale bread to save money. Even the birds won't eat it, sighed Androcles, and I don't blame them. There's only one thing left to do, he thought. I'll have to run away. That night he waited until Brutus was asleep. Then he sneaked out of the villa and ran into the forest. Androcles had never been in the forest before. Spooky eyes started out at him from the creepy shadows. Suddenly, he heard a gruff, snarling noise coming from behind a bush. Rug! Androcles felt a shiver run up his spine. Who's there? He croaked nervously as he crept closer and closer. Carefully he peered around the bush and came face to face with a huge lion. The beast let out a loud roar and Androcles ran for cover. But to Androcles' surprise, the lion didn't run after him. He just sat where he was, as still as a statue. That's odd, thought Androcles. He was so puzzled he cautiously tiptoed back. Why didn't you chase me? He asked timidly. I can't run, sniffed the lion. I can't even walk. I was out for a stroll when I got the thorn stuck in my paw. It stings like crazy. You poor thing, said Androcles. Let me see, I can take it out for you. Androcles took hold of the lion's paw and gripped the thorn. This might hurt a little, he warned. I can't bear to look. Just do it quickly, please, pleaded the lion. Androcles tugged out the thorn as fast as he could. Ouch! Yelped the lion. All done, said Androcles, waving the thorn under the lion's nose. Phew, puffed the lion. That feels so much better. Thanks for helping me out. My name's Leo, by the way, and I'm Androcles. The lion smiled and gave his rescuer a big sloppy lick. Slurp! Hi, that tickles, laughed Androcles. From then on, he and Leo were the best of friends. A snug cave in the middle of the forest became their new home. Each morning, Leo went out into the forest looking for food. There were plenty of juicy berries and crunchy nuts to be found if you knew where to look. Leo brought the food back to Androcles, who turned it into delicious meals. One day, Androcles was enjoying his morning walk when he saw a stranger. That's odd, thought Androcles. Hardly anyone comes into the forest. He crept closer to get a better look. As Androcles got nearer, he recognized the man's uniform. A soldier, he thought with a shiver. What's he doing around here? The soldier unrolled some paper. Androcles gasped when he saw what was written on it. Ha ha! He won't be free for much longer. As Androcles watched in horror, he felt a bug land on his nose. It tickled so much he couldn't stop himself from a tissue. Hi, you! Cried the soldier in surprise. What are you doing sneaking around this forest? I am stuttered Androcles. Just a second, said the soldier. I recognize you. You're the escaped slave. Who, me? No way. Bye. Stop in the name of the emperor, yelled the soldier, drawing his sword. As the soldier chased him, Androcles felt his heart thumping through his chest, but he dared not to stop. The soldiers chased him up hills, down hills, across a raging rushing river, in between mighty pine trees, until finally Androcles ran out of puff and collapsed in a sweaty heap. Gotcha! Cried the soldier with glee. He pulled Androcles to his feet and dragged him to a nearby cart. Are you taking me back to Brutus? Panted Androcles as the soldier threw him on board. You should be so lucky, laughed the soldier, locking him in place. You're going to Rome, Andy, my boy. What for? Asked Androcles. You'll see, the soldier replied as he took the reins. With that, they were off. Androcles had an uncomfortable, bumpy ride to Rome. When he arrived, he found the city heaving with bustling, noisy crowds. He'd never seen so many people in one place before. What's that big round building? He asked. It's the arena, replied the soldier. Androcles didn't like the look of it. What happens there? He asked. You'll soon see, smirked the soldier. Androcles was thrown into a dingy prison cell with a man named Marco. What happens now? Asked Androcles. We fight in the middle of the arena, said Marco. But I don't want to fight you, said Androcles. We don't fight each other, Marco sighed. We fight the lions. Androcles gulped. He didn't think much of his chances against one of those fierce animals he'd seen earlier. We'll be torn to pieces. Everyone in Rome comes to watch, said Marco. Even the emperor. Our fights are tomorrow afternoon, he added. I suppose we better get some rest while we can. But Androcles and Marco didn't get much sleep that night. The next afternoon came all too quickly. Clincus arrived and took Androcles from his cell. It's showtime, Skinny. He dragged him down a long dark tunnel to a doorway. Clincus unlocked the door and showed Androcles out into the sunlight. Put up a good fight. As Androcles struggled to his feet, he realized he was in the middle of the dreaded area. Thousands of cheering people lined the sides of the building. Bring on the lion! Androcles gasped as he caught sight of the lions waiting to be unleashed. Good luck against the lion, Androcles. You'll need it. A gate opened in a side wall, and an enormous lion charged out. Androcles trembled with fear. There was no here to run. Androcles fell to his knees and closed his eyes. I only hope it's over quickly, he thought. He could feel the lion's breath on the back of his neck. Suddenly, Androcles felt a lick on his hand. He opened his eyes to see Leo. I was caught last night, explained Leo. They brought me here to fight. Hello, Androcles. Nice to see you again. Androcles hugged his friend. No one in the arena could believe their eyes. Incredible! Amazing! Androcles has tamed the lion, cried the crowd. What a hero! They began chanting his name. Androcles, Androcles, Androcles. Clincus took Androcles to the emperor. I've never seen such bravery, said the emperor. In fact, I'm so impressed. I decided to set you free. Androcles thought of his friends. Please, will you free my cellmate Marco and the lion too? He asked. The emperor smiled very well. He said. Moments later, Androcles and Marco were reunited. My hero. Androcles and his friends decided to leave Rome and start their own show, where no one ever had to fight. Come and see the friendly lion. Buy your tickets here.